Right, this is where we stopped from the previous clip. Yeah, we are welcome to part 10 of chapter 5. Okay, so we need to identify the three known elements in this case. Yeah, right. So here you are willing to purchase a car. You are willing to pay 20,000. This is future value. Yeah, this is not future value. This is what you are willing to pay. This is what you have now. You have 15,000. This is present value, and you can invest at 10% per year. This is the interest rate. This is also known. Yeah. What is unknown is stated here. How long will it be before you have enough money to pay cash for the car? Yeah. So this is what you need to pay. Okay. After n periods, we don't know the n. This is what you have now at time 0. You can invest this amount at 10% per year for n years, yeah, and you hope to get 20,000, yeah. So the unknown factor is how long. N is not known, yeah. So we can apply the formula here. Okay, we can apply the formula here. This is the formula: natural log of future value divided by present value. All this divided by the natural log of 1 plus r. Yeah. So when you do that, you get 3.0184. This means that it will take roughly slightly more than 3 years, yeah, to allow this 15,000 you have now. If you earn 10% per year, okay, you need more than 3 years, yeah, for it to grow to $20,000. That's the idea. Yeah? So you have to wait for 3 years to purchase the car. That's the answer for this question. Yeah. So if you round it to the nearest 2 decimal points, and it becomes 3.02. Yeah. All right. Now we can also use the table. Yeah, the time value table, but it is limited, as you can see here. Yeah. So you use this formula: future value at time n. We do not know this. Present value is 15,000. Multiplied by future value interest factor r% n years. Yeah. Now we do not know this because n is not known. Yeah. So we don't know this value. Yeah. But we know this part. Yeah. 20,000, 15,000. So you divide this. Yeah. You get 1.3333. So we know that the r is 10%. Yeah. But we do not know n. Yeah. So we look for the column. Yeah. 10% interest rate. Then you look down from the top to the very bottom. Yeah? You go down the list, look for the value of 1.33. Yeah? And you know that the n must be between 3 and 4. Yeah? The value, the future value interest factor, when it is 3, it is too small. It is less than 1.3. Okay, less than 1.33. But 4, then it becomes greater than 1.33. Yeah? Therefore, it must lie in between. Yeah? So this is again not precise. We know that it must be between 3 and 4, but it doesn't give you a precise answer. Yeah? Because the table does not provide fractions of a year. Yeah? So it either the rows range from 1 to some specific whole numbers. Yeah? They don't have fractions, okay, or decimals, and therefore this is limited. Yeah? Again, the table is a limited method to solve for this time value of money problem. Yeah. All right. Let's look further. Now you try and represent this in terms of a timeline. Yeah, this same problem. Okay, 0 to n. Yeah, this n is not known. Okay, so the known elements are $20,000. This is the receipt inflow after n years. Yeah. Now, the other known element is this negative, note the sign convention. This is what you receive. Even though you receive this, you use this to pay for the car. Yeah? But this is what you deposit in terms of your investment. Yeah? This is positive, this is negative. Okay, so $15,000 deposit to be made now. That is the second known element. This is the present value. Now, the third. Okay, the third factor that is known is the 10% interest rate. Yeah, this is known. Yeah, compounded, added n times. Yeah. So here, this value. Yeah, in this value, you must add interest. Interest must be compounded n times. Yeah, so that this becomes 20,000 at the end of period n. Yeah, so that's the idea. So unknown element is the n term. Yeah, n or term, number of periods or times interest is compounded, and you solve this using the formula. You get that this is more than 3. Yeah, so 3 is somewhere here. Let's say it is slightly more than 3 years. Yeah, then you get 20,000. So that's the answer. Yeah. Right, you can also show this calculation using spreadsheet and the financial calculator. Yeah? In this, whenever you're using spreadsheet and financial calculator, you must observe the sign convention. Yeah? This is negative and this is positive. Okay, let's look at that. First, we look at the spreadsheet. Yeah? Right, in the spreadsheet, okay, we can see it here. Let me just drag it to the side so they can have a full view. Alright, yeah. So here you want to solve for the number of period, the time. So the known elements are the present value 15,000, negative, note that, yeah, this is the sign convention, negative. Then the second known factor is 10% interest rate, this is also known. Ignore payment because this is not relevant for chapter 4, okay, just put that as 0. Okay, time, this is what you want to solve, okay, this is the third element that is unknown. Yeah, the fourth element that is known is the future value. You need 20,000. Yeah, this is positive. If this is positive, this must be negative. That's the sign convention. Yeah, if this is positive, this must be negative. Yeah, so because this is what you will receive from your investment, this must be what you pay for your investment now. Yeah, and therefore this is negative and this is positive. Yeah, following the sign convention. Now, how do you solve for the time? Yeah, for this, note this, yeah, you put equal to, you use the function equal to NPER, yeah, these are all in capital, or it doesn't matter, you just type it NPER and it will turn into capital, yeah. Now, this is number of periods, okay, this is the solution for time. Then open bracket and you click here, it tells you the first value must be rate, yeah, so you specify the rate 10%, or you can click on the cell that has 10%, yeah. Then the second value must be payment, just put that as 0, or you can type a cell which has the value of 0. Yeah? Then third would be the present value. Yeah? Notice you can either type in negative 15,000, or you can click the cell here, T2, yeah? which has the value of the present value. Yeah? And then next will be the future value. Yeah? Future value is 20,000, yeah? T6. Yeah? You can either type in 20,000 or you can click the cell that has the value of 20,000. Then you have type, okay, here I have ignored the type, yeah, so if you ignore, the computer will assume that it is type 0, yeah, which means the cash flow occurs at the end of the period. Yeah? So if not, you can put a comma and you just put 1, or you can put 1 or you can ignore, yeah. Alright, so this is the answer. Then once you finish that, you close the bracket and you click on this, yes, and you get this value 3.0184, which is the same answer as we have got earlier. Yeah? So this is how you solve using the spreadsheet. Next, we look at how this problem can be solved using the financial calculator application. Yeah? Alright, let's see how we can solve this using the financial calculator. Yeah? So for this example, the present value is negative. Yeah, note that, yeah? Negative 15,000. Alright, and the payments 0. This is not relevant for chapter 5. Okay, this is relevant for chapter 6. Yeah? So we'll ignore that. Then future value is 20,000. 20,000. Oops, one more, yeah, 20,000. The annual rate is 10%. Okay, just put 10, not percent here, don't put percent here. The period is what you want to solve. Yeah, so the three known elements is this, okay, present value, future value, and the annual rate. Now note this, yeah, this is monthly, change it to annually, yeah, because this interest is earned or compounded per annum or per year. Alright, then you click on periods, okay, it gives you 3.02, yeah. The answer that we got using the formula is 3.0184, yeah. So this is rounded to 2 decimal points. Yeah? You get 3.02. This is number of years. Yeah? Period here means number of periods. In this particular case, periods will be years. Yeah? Therefore, the answer is the same. Yeah? Alright, this is how you solve using the financial calculator. Right. Therefore, we come back to the slide. Okay, let's move on to the next example. Number of periods. Yeah? So this is a rather long example. Suppose you want to buy a new house. Okay, you currently have 15,000 and you figure you need to have 10% down payment plus an additional 5% of the loan amount for closing costs. Yeah? Assume the type of house you want will cost 150,000, yeah, and you can earn 7.5% per year. How long will it be before you have enough money for the down payment and closing costs? Yeah, note this. Yeah. So again, even though this problem looks a bit complex, it's actually a simple time value of money problem. Yeah? It has a lot of information, so you need to identify what are the 3 known elements and the 4th unknown element. Yeah? Of course, the 4th unknown element comes from this question: how long will it be? Yeah? So long here means the unknown element is n, yeah? Number of periods. Okay, so what is known? Yeah? So you have 15,000. Okay, now, okay, so this is known. Okay, what do you have? This is present value. Alright, what else is known? You know the interest rate. Okay, 7.5% per year. Okay, that is known. Yeah. Now, what is the future value? Okay, future value. Okay, you do not know yet. It's not given directly. Yeah, not 150,000. Yeah, just because it's stated here, that is not the future value, because the future value is the payment. Okay, the money. Yeah, you have enough money for the down payment and closing cost. So you need the value of down payment and the closing cost, and that will be your future value, yeah? At end of year end. Right? So let's see the solution. Yeah? How much do you need to have in the future? So down payment first. Yeah? So we are solving here first for the future value. Yeah? We want to determine the sum for the future value. Yeah? So down payment is 10% from the cost of the house. Yeah? That is given in the previous slide. Yeah? 10% from 150,000. So you need $15,000 as down payment. Yeah? That is the down payment that you need to make. Okay, and the closing cost is 5% from the loan amount. Yeah? Loan amount, if you pay a down payment of 15,000, the rest, yeah, because the house is 150,000, you make a down payment of 15,000. This is what you pay. Yeah? So the remainder must be your loan. Yeah? So from the loan, 5%, yeah, is charged as closing cost. So 5% multiplied by the difference between these two. This is the loan. Yeah? This is the loan for the housing. So you get 6,750. Yeah? So when you add these two, you get this value. Yeah? Total needed will be 21,750. Alright. So compute the number of periods. Yeah? So now you know that the future value is 21,750. This is the future value at end of period n. You divide this by the present value at time 0. You have $15,000 now. You need 21,750 in order to purchase the house. Okay, and you can invest this $15,000 in an investment that gives you 7.5% per year. Yeah? Alright, so therefore you use this formula, you get 5.1377. Yeah? It tells you that roughly we will take more than 5 years, yeah, in order to get this value, okay, from your investment of 15,000. Okay, and then only, yeah, you can purchase the house, not earlier. Yeah? So that's the answer for this. Yeah? Using a financial calculator also you can get this answer, yeah? But we can skip that. I've shown you how you can use the financial calculator and the spreadsheet, yeah, for such problems. Okay, with that we come to the end of this part, yeah? Almost at the end of this chapter, but we are running out of time in this clip. Yeah? So we will continue in the next clip.